Hi folks, this is Klaus at Top Hydraulics. I want to talk to you about replacing hoses on a Nissan 370Z today. We've talked about hoses in the introductory movie to the whole hydraulic system, and I just want to point out again how these hoses are routed. We have hoses going all the way to the front lock, top lock cylinder. We have hoses going to the two fifth bow or secondary cylinders that are above the driver and passenger door, and of course we have hoses going to the cylinders in the rear. The most common hose failures are at roughly this point on the hoses going to the rear bow lock cylinder or fifth bow lock cylinder. These hoses are stressed a lot when the cover moves around. There are several places where these hoses can flex, and as I've said before, the wall thickness on these hoses is so thin, so marginal that they will break if they are being stressed too much. It is not uncommon that a hose will first break in one place and potentially later on in another one, and what I'm trying to say by that is patching these hoses is not a good idea. You want to replace them with better ones from Top Hydraulics. Slightly thicker wall thickness makes all the difference. You get a far better product. It is not difficult to trace the hoses from the cylinder to the pump. We've shown you in our pump removal video how to take the hoses, how to get at the pump, how to take the hoses off the pump. It's easy, and you may as well do the job right and replace the whole hose. Simply trace the whole harness that these hoses are in. You unwrap a few pieces of tape if necessary, you cut some zip ties if necessary, and they're all easy to put back together. If a hose fails, fix them in pairs while you're at it, because typically when one hose fails, the next one is soon to follow. We've had enough experience with this. So the tricky point I want to point out to you, the tricky routing, is really only from the fifth bow and front lock cylinder. The hoses back here run through a metal channel, and this channel is best accessed by lifting the top out of the chassis, as we've shown in the video on the main lift cylinder replacement. So here's the part that is so much easier to access when your top is lifted up and resting on a wooden block down here, as we've shown for the main lift cylinder replacement. We've shown you in all the videos for the cylinders how the hoses are attached to the cylinder, how easy it is to take them off, and of course the hoses from Top Hydraulics always come with O-rings for both ends, and we also provide a nifty little installation tool for installing the snap ring on the pump end. So ultimately it's not a whole lot of work, and you can feel really good about having fixed your top after you've replaced these hoses. You saved a lot of money and you have a working top again, so that's awesome.